Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Friday the 14th of December 2018. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me throughout the day on Twitter by using @DS_Pepperstone. Right, let's kick off as ever with a look at the overnight changes and price moves to be aware of. And some bigger movers over the course of the last 24 hours in the world's foreign exchanges. We'll start with a look at the cable rate, the pound versus the US dollar, down by around 0.26%, the pound sterling versus its US rival, but crucially above that 126 level, 126.2190 trading shortly before we recorded the video. Of course, sentiment very much driving sterling exchange rates at the moment, and obviously most of that focused around Theresa May's efforts in Brussels currently. But there was weakness elsewhere. Both the Australian dollars and the New Zealand dollars taking a bit of a tumble, having been on the front foot recently again. The Australian dollar losing 0.52% against its US rival, and the Kiwi down by a whopping 0.85% against the US dollar over the last 24 hours. There were gains elsewhere for the US dollar as well. In the emerging markets, the dollar made gains of around 0.29% against the Indian rupee and was up by some 0.6% against the South African rand. Dollar index for its part back above 97.18 shortly before we recorded the video. That was up by around 0.11% overnight. Okay, what's on the calendar then? Events that may move the markets today. A pretty compact calendar, but nonetheless there's plenty of data points for us to pay attention to. Just to point out that we do have, first of all, an ongoing meeting of European finance ministers and other leaders in Brussels. We've already had Chinese retail sales data out this morning, and we'll take a look at those numbers a little bit later, but suffice to say they were below expectation. To come then this morning at 8:30 GMT, we will have PMI data out of Germany. That's composite manufacturing and services PMI for the month of December. Preliminary reads out of Germany, as I say. And then half an hour later at 9 AM, we will have similar readings out of the Eurozone. So that's manufacturing, services and composite PMI out of the Eurozone for the month of December. Then at 10 o'clock, we'll have that labour cost for the third quarter out of the Eurozone, a key measure of competitiveness as far as the Eurozone is concerned, with other manufacturing rivals. And then at 13:30 we cross over the Atlantic for US retail sales, both inclusive and exclusive of automobiles for the month of November. At 14:15 we stay in the States for the capacity utilisation data for November and industrial production data for the same month. And then at 14:45 to finish proceedings as far as high impact data is concerned for today, we will have market manufacturing PMI for December, composite PMI for December and services PMI for December, all out of the United States. So a window on growth in the US economy there to round off the afternoon. Okay then, well let's kick on with breaking news and comment that's caught my eye overnight. First of all, Theresa May finds Europe reluctant to amend her Brexit deal. She'll press on, of course, today with trying to get some amendments and or legal assurances out of the 27 other European Union leaders about the Irish border and the backstop, proposals that make up part of her draft Brexit deal. Whether she'll be successful or not remains to be seen. Meanwhile, in Asia, the Japanese or the Tankan survey from the Bank of Japan, I should say, showed that Japanese manufacturers are feeling more optimistic even about the months ahead than they previously were. We'd seen 3 straight quarters of declining business optimism amongst manufacturers. That trend has now changed, and we also saw industrial production in October and manufacturing growth for December pick up as well. Both those data points released overnight, so some slightly better news for the Japanese economy. Meanwhile, Chinese retail sales for November come in below forecast, and this is just one of a number of weaker data points out of the Chinese economy released overnight, giving cause for concern about those 2019 growth figures. And the ECB confirmed the end of its 2.6 trillion QE programme, despite concerns that the European economy was heading lower as we end 2018. Okay, well, food for thought then, something to take away with you into the trading day and beyond. And why not think about this? Well, picking up on some of the themes we just looked at. As ECB quantitative easing comes to a close, will Europe's PMI data today provide some hope for growth in 2019? And can the December data reverse the downtrend that has persisted throughout 2018? And the chart I've drawn here plots the JP Morgan Global Composite PMI number, and that's this line in blue, against the Eurozone composite PMI. And as we can see, global PMIs have started to pick up in the final months of 2018, but the dashed EU composite PMI line is still heading lower. So will we see a bottom form in that Eurozone PMI data today, or are we destined to trend lower towards contraction territory? Okay, please take a moment to read this risk warning. Trading CFDs and foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks or the suitability of leverage products for you, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative. And as I say, please do take a moment to read this risk warning thoroughly. Thank you for your time.